do that, I just want to take a minute to talk about what Robby has done, what he's put together, and what my complaint is. For those of you that have not seen this, heard about it, know about it, it's unbelievable. It's spectacular. It is the, according to my information, certainly my own impression, the #1 military headgear collection in the world, in the whole world. If you haven't had a chance to go see that, and I really do urge this with the media, the media would, I think the media would like it, would enjoy it, and I know that the readers or the viewers or the listeners of the media would enjoy it and would be shocked and surprised. You know, I use this adage all the time about sometimes a prophet's not a prophet in his own hometown. It's not an adage, actually. It comes from a pretty good book. But it's doubly true in case of this military headgear collection. We in Arkansas don't even know about it to the extent we ought to know about it. Now, enthusiasts around the world know about it. Those who go to the website and see what's going on know about it. And those few who have been exposed to it know about it. But the average person in our state doesn't know about the extent and the quality and the variety of this military headgear collection. I was astounded and blown away when I first saw it. I'd been hearing about it. I was expecting great things. It so greatly exceeded my expectations that I'm sitting here going on and on about it. Now my complaint. With all due respect to Robby and our friends where it's currently located, and they are friends, and I don't want to cause any trouble. But this should be part of a tourist compendium. This should be one of the stops for people who come here for the Clinton Library, or come here for the Museum of Discovery, or come here for any of the other attractions that Central Arkansas has. This really ought to be at the top of the list. Our Parks and Tourism people ought to be going nuts about this stuff. Our marketing people ought to be going nuts about this stuff. Today, what we're about to celebrate, and I realize that's what we're about to celebrate, but I wanted to take this opportunity while I had everybody here to put in a plug for the idea that the marketing and the exposure as a tourist attraction, as a matter of history, is something I think that we can do a lot better job of, and we should all be doing a lot better job of. There's a lot of help, Robby, and everybody ought to get on board on this thing, because it's rare that you have something that's #1 in the world in its given genre anywhere, much less here. So, having said that, we're here to celebrate another historic edition to an unbelievable set of military headgear. And for that specific information, I'm actually going to turn it over to a very kind, generous, thoughtful, and knowledgeable Robert Hoffman, who can tell you all about the specific reason why we're here today. Mr. Hoffman.
It's certainly an honor to be here with the governor, the governor's conference room at the Capitol in Little Rock, to share this special occasion. I could be very honest with you, when this idea came to me that this is what I wanted to do, I had no idea that this would be the venue and this would be the way that this would unfold. But it's to me, it's a bit overwhelming, and I'm absolutely delighted. And certainly one of the reasons I'm delighted is for my dear friend Dick Winters. And another honor that I had in my life was to be the close friend of a gentleman of great charisma, a hero in every way, and certainly one of the most humble men that I have ever known. I had the privilege of walking next to him for 17 years through the Band of Brothers trip, and I can tell you that the gentleman at the end of his life's journey was the same humble man that he was at the beginning of that journey. He has endeared himself to the world by his heroism in World War II and his leadership skills, But I often told him, and I shared this with my eulogy of Dick Winters at his memorial service in March, and that was that as wonderful a hero he was, and as wonderful a leader as he was, I think his true legacy is the passion and the mission that he shared and felt so strongly to tell the story of his beloved band of brothers, Easy Company. And I think, without question, that has forever changed the way that we all look at not only World War II veterans, but at veterans of every service and of every war. And I think that Dick Winters' mission to tell that story has simply changed the landscape in that regard. It was my pleasure to, after the memorial service, to meet this gentleman to my left. I had heard about him, but I had not had the opportunity to make his acquaintance. Since that time, I have learned much about him, and I have learned much about the museum and the mission, and I can truly say that in my eyes, this is another true hero and a gentleman of energy and accomplishment beyond compare. I traveled to Little Rock several months ago to see the museum firsthand, and it was after I went home that I decided that the wonderful memorabilia that I had from my dear friend really didn't belong on my den shelf anymore. It really needed to go somewhere where it would be safe and taken care of and be available for posterity. And I decided that all of those aspects could be best served if I gifted it to Robby Wilson and to the Wilson History and Research Center. And you know, we are just caretakers of things physical in our lives, and today I'm turning over the caretaker job to Robby Wilson and his estate.
Governor, thank you for hosting this for us. We are honored by this gift. This gift is probably the holy grail of all of the American headpieces of the 20th century. I don't think you can find one that would be more easily recognized, yet have more of an impact. A gift of this priceless historical object, such as the Winters personal helmet, is of great value both to the citizens of our state and to the people of the world. Soldiers of that era sacrificed so much to ensure the peace and freedom that we enjoy today. Its symbolic power represents all that is good with the American people. As always, such gifts include helping hands along the way. Such hands of friendship are here today. Bill Shea of Hubbardston, Massachusetts. Where are you, Bill?
I'm right here, Rob.
Back. Bill is a renowned historian in his own right, and deeply involved in the gifting of this particular helmet. We thank you, Bill. Kelly Hicks.
Hey, Robbie.
Kelly Hicks is of New Jersey, and Jim Muir. These two guys harassed. I don't think that Bob could have gotten away with not giving it. Once he said he was going to do it, these guys harassed him every day till it happened. Lots of places would have liked to have had this particular piece. It is a signature piece. It's the type of piece that you can build a complete collection career around, and it's incredibly selfless of Bob to donate it to us. It is a piece that will be displayed prominently around the country as a piece from our Arkansas Center. I want to thank also very much Bob, and let you know that not only is he a director, he's an architect, and he also is a retired Air Force officer. His stories about Dick Winters are the most fascinating stories I've ever heard, and you know, I wish we could take 4 or 5 hours just to listen to a couple of them. They're fantastic stories. I didn't get a chance to meet Major Winters. I was going to meet him, and then he passed away. But we have a great amount of gratitude to Major Winters himself. I also want to thank the other members of our board, Elliot Goldman of Dallas, Texas, and my co-author, Exo Tish, and my partner, Paul Sack of Miami, Florida. Thank you guys for being here today. Finally, I want to thank Bob on behalf of the citizens of the state for sharing the most intimate of symbols of your personal friendship with Major Winters. Your generosity, so obvious in the making of this gift to Wilson History and Research Center, is gratefully acknowledged. There have been many people working together to make this happen. Their dedication is a fundamental reason that we are proud. We at Wilson History and Research Center are proud to call Bob one of our own, a real Arkansas. Thank you very much. Thank you again.
Y'all got questions?
Robby, there are other pieces here. Could you give a short description? Where's Dan? Dan? Let me introduce Dan Roberts. He's Director of History Research. He can introduce those pieces.
They may want you to describe them. That's the way the media.
The first piece is a very special piece that we received from a prominent collector in France. It is a French general's kepi, and an interesting thing about all French general's kepis is that every general has their own fingerprint. The design that you see on that kepi applies solely to that general, and we brought it as sort of an example of the customization and individuality that comes with headgear. The piece behind it is a German helmet from World War II that was punctured by a mortar round. And it's a very popular piece amongst visitors to the center. And behind that is a World War I piece that was custom designed by a prominent metallurgist from France. And that piece is one of a kind. It was the prototype design for what American servicemen might have worn in World War I. And you can see on the front of it, it has the seal of the United States Army.
Sam, can you turn that to me?
Yeah.
Yes. Show them how the visor goes up there. U.S. Army helmet. Designed in France. Designed in France. Made in Belgium.
And the last piece, if Sam can actually pick it up and show you. Sam, what's the name on the inside of that? Sort of caught off guard.
Lieutenant Markwick.
Lieutenant Markwick was a British paratrooper, and he died at in Arnhem. He was a glider pilot, and he died in the battle made famous by the film A Bridge Too Far. And you can see we gained that helmet, and actually his daughter contacted the center after seeing the helmet online, and we've maintained contact with her. And we believe it is a fitting memorial to her father, and we're proud to have it.
turned yet, but we've got a great audience here. Robby's generosity extends to military history items over and above the headgear, which obviously is the #1 priority. But whether just one or two of those spotter aircraft from Normandy landings available in the world. There's one spotter aircraft flown by the Allies over the beaches on June 6, 1944, left in the world. And there probably weren't that many that flew over to begin with anyway. Maybe less than a dozen. One left in the world, and Robby bought it, or got it, and donated it, gave it to the Airborne Museum at St. Mary Glees. And St. Mary Glees made famous, you know, that's where Red Buttons, I think it was hung up at the tower for the longest day. So, I mean, it's military headgear is his priority, obviously. We have on loan, as the governor's mentioned, some of you all have seen it, an actual British line headgear from Waterloo. I mean, it doesn't belong to us, it belongs to Robby, but it's there on loan in the governor's mention. So if you ever have an interest or an opportunity, you really ought to view these things. How many pieces do you have roughly?
15,000.
15,000 pieces. And the majority of them are 20th century, but you have some pieces that predate obviously the 20th century. And it's not just Western European or American. I mean, they have headgear from 20th century military personnel from 95 countries, Middle East, Africa, Asia, all across. And so this really should be marketed in a way that even more people besides historians and people that are interested in military history have an opportunity to see, because children would be fascinated by this. So at any rate.
What can we do as Arkansans and supporters to lift the awareness of the center and, have it more available to all members of the community and the state and the
One of two things is going to happen initially, it seems to me. Again, I don't know who owns those buildings out there, and I don't want to make them mad. Either we're going to have to do a whole lot of marketing, and that's going to have to become a destination, and people are going to have to know where that is, and people are going to have to go out there, and more display opportunity be made available, because all this stuff right now, there's just a limited amount of display without having to go, as you know, and pull out every individual case to look at every individual headgear. You're not able to be able to display 15,000 headgear, no matter where you are. You certainly have to do enough of a variety. I'm talking like I'm a parks and tourism expert. I'm just regurgitating.
You are.
I regurgitate what they tell me. So if you stay where you are, there has to be some significant changes and some real marketing done to send people from all of the tourist attractions or all of the stopping points in the central part of the city out west to that venue. That's certainly one option. The other option is obviously to have a venue that's conducive to easy access and easy display. Once that's done, it seems to me, then it's up to the city and the county and Parks and Tourism over and above Robby having to do it individually, because Robby just does it, I guess, for the love of doing it. I'm trying to make money off of the people of Arkansas. I'm trying to create more economic activity because more people want to come, another attraction for people who want to engage in. And I think it's that significant. So I think that's probably the first steps. And then talking to the folks at Parks and Tourism and the folks with the city that do all this kind of stuff, I'm sure we can get other ideas on the next step. Thank y'all.